Congratulations, you did it! You successfully beat the American real estate market. You bought a house back in 2021, you locked in a historic 2.8% interest rate, and you thought you were an absolute financial genius. But here is what nobody tells you about winning the housing lottery. You are now a prisoner in your own home. Welcome to June 2026, the era of the golden handcuffs, where your interest rate is literally outlasting your marriage, your career, and your sanity. Nobody is selling. Why? Because giving up a 3% mortgage to buy a new 7.5% mortgage is mathematically insane. It's the financial equivalent of trading in a perfectly good Ferrari for a rusty bicycle, and then paying the dealership an extra $3,000 a month just for the privilege. Millions of Americans are currently trapped in a massive real estate hostage situation. Got offered a huge promotion in a new city? Too bad. Moving means your new 7% mortgage will completely swallow your raise, so you just stay at a company you secretly hate. Then there's the divorce dilemma. Thousands of couples across America absolutely despise each other right now, but neither will move out because giving up a 2.9% mortgage to rent a studio apartment is financial suicide. They are legally separated but sharing the exact same kitchen island because lower interest rates are apparently stronger than irreconcilable differences. Throw in the claustrophobic millennials converting walk-in closets into nurseries because upgrading would triple their payments, and the empty nester boomers who refuse to downsize because a tiny condo now costs more than their massive McMansion. It is a total deadlock. We are looking at the top 12 cities in the US where the gap between the 3% dream and the 7.5% reality has turned beautiful neighborhoods into open-air financial prisons. Let's get into it.
12. Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix was the ultimate pandemic boomtown. People flooded into the desert for cheap land and constant sunshine. The stats? Equity is high because everyone bought dirt cheap in 2020, but the current median home price has plateaued around $450,000. But here's what nobody tells you. You are literally trapped inside an oven. And leaving is not an option. Thanks to 2026 inflation and climate shifts, the summer utility bills in Phoenix now look like luxury car payments. People want to leave. They want to escape the 115-degree heat, but they sit down, look at a mortgage calculator for a house in the Midwest, realize their monthly payment would double, and immediately close their laptops in defeat. Picture this. You step out onto your beautifully paved desert driveway. It is 112 degrees. You can actually feel the rubber soles of your expensive running shoes fusing to the asphalt. Your AC unit sounds like a jet engine preparing for takeoff, draining your bank account by the second. You are miserable, sweaty, and trapped in a relentless desert dystopia. But at least your principal and interest payment is only $1,400 a month. 11. Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta is the sprawling, tree-covered jewel of the South. The stats? The greater Atlanta area saw massive equity gains over the last 5 years, with home values jumping over 40%. It looks like a massive win on paper. But here is what nobody tells you. Atlanta is a city built entirely on the concept of driving, and the return to office mandates have turned this equity goldmine into a commuter's maximum security prison. During the remote work boom, people bought massive houses way out in the distant suburbs. Now they're being forced back to their midtown offices. They want to sell their suburban mansions and move closer to the city, but the 7% interest rates have completely blocked the exits. Picture this. You are sitting in your fully paid-off leather car seat, sipping a lukewarm peach-iced tea. You are completely gridlocked on Interstate 285. It's been 45 minutes and you've moved exactly 3 inches. You look at the sprawling pine trees, calculate that you spend 20 hours a week just staring at the bumper of a Ford F-150, and realize your 2.7% mortgage is slowly destroying your will to live. 10. Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas isn't just the Strip. The suburbs expanded massively during the 2021 buying frenzy. The stats? Median home prices sit around $430,000, and Nevada has absolutely no state income tax, making it a financial haven for out-of-state buyers. But here is what nobody tells you. Living in a Las Vegas suburb in 2026 is like being trapped inside a frat house that occasionally charges a massive HOA cleaning fee. Because nobody can afford to sell their homes and buy new ones, desperate homeowners have turned half the neighborhoods into unregulated, highly aggressive Airbnbs just to cover the rising cost of living. You can't afford to move, which means you can't escape your new transient neighbors. Picture this. It is a quiet Tuesday morning. You walk out to your pristine, zero landscaping rock garden to retrieve your mail. The desert morning is peaceful. Then you make direct eye contact with a group of 6 heavily intoxicated tourists from Ohio who are currently using your front lawn as a recovery zone from a 3-day bender, and you are entirely powerless to leave. 9. Tampa, Florida. Tampa was the promised land, a coastal paradise where you could buy a waterfront house and live a permanent vacation. The stats? Yes, the people who bought in 2020 have massive equity, and the median home price is around $400,000. But here is what nobody tells you. You are a hostage to the Florida insurance crisis. It doesn't matter that your mortgage is locked at 3% because your home insurance premium just skyrocketed to $14,000 a year. But here's the sickest part. If you sell your Tampa house to move to a safer state, the new 7.5% mortgage will cost you more than the brutal Florida insurance. You are mathematically forced to stay in the hurricane zone. Picture this. A gentle ocean breeze rustles the palm trees in your front yard. You're sitting on your lanaya, enjoying the tropical weather. Then, a weather alert goes off on your phone about a Category 4 storm brewing in the Gulf, and you just sit there, sipping a margarita, peacefully accepting that you are financially chained to a sinking ship.
8. Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh is the heart of the Research Triangle, a booming tech hub that attracted hundreds of thousands of young professionals. The stats? It's one of the strongest economies in the country, and the housing market is incredibly resilient, with prices hovering near $500,000. But here is what nobody tells you. Raleigh is the ultimate corporate trap. People moved here in their late 20s, bought their starter homes and planned to upgrade in 5 years once they climbed the corporate ladder. Now they're in their 30s, making double the salary, but they literally cannot afford to buy a house in a better neighborhood. They are stuck in entry-level homes with senior-level salaries. Picture this. You're having a weekend barbecue in your modest, fenced-in backyard. The weather's perfect, the economy is booming, and your career is thriving. Then you look over at the brand new luxury neighborhood being built across the street, realize you make $150,000 a year, but mathematically do not qualify for a mortgage there, and you quietly, aggressively flip a burger in sheer frustration. Number 7. Nashville, Tennessee. Music City saw some of the most aggressive appreciation in the entire country. Everyone wanted to move to Nashville for the culture, the food, and the vibes. The stats? Home prices are sky high, and if you bought before the boom, you were sitting on a mountain of uncashed equity. But here is what nobody tells you. Living in Nashville with a locked-in mortgage is like being chained to a theme park ride that you are desperately trying to get off. The city has become the undisputed bachelorette party capital of the universe. The quiet, artsy neighborhoods people bought into 5 years ago are now overrun with pedal taverns, woo girls, and party buses. But because of the golden handcuffs, the original residents cannot afford to sell and move out to the quiet countryside. Picture this. You're sitting on your historic front porch on a Sunday afternoon, trying to read a book and enjoy the architectural beauty of your neighborhood. Suddenly, a neon-pink tractor pulls up, blasting Shania Twain at 120 decibels, while 14 women in matching cowboy boots scream at the top of their lungs, and you realize you're trapped in a living nightmare, subsidized by a 2.8% interest rate. Number 6. Dallas, Texas. Dallas and its massive, sprawling suburbs were the ultimate destination for people fleeing high taxes. The stats? There's zero state income tax, the job market is booming, and if you bought in 2021, you locked in a massive house for under $400,000. It sounds like an absolute financial victory. But here is what nobody tells you.
Texas always gets its money, and they get it through property taxes. Over the last 5 years, the county appraisal districts have aggressively skyrocketed home values. So, yes, your mortgage interest rate is locked at 2.8%, but your property taxes have doubled. Dallas homeowners are suddenly writing tax checks that are larger than their actual mortgage principal. But they can't sell and flee to a cheaper state because a 7.5% mortgage anywhere else would still bankrupt them. They're essentially renting their own houses back from the government. Picture this. You're hosting a massive backyard barbecue. Your smoker is going, the brisket smells incredible, and there's a giant lifted truck sitting in your driveway. Then you open your mail to find your new county tax assessment, realize you now owe the state of Texas $12,000 a year just to exist on your own dirt, and you nearly choke on a piece of perfectly smoked meat. Number 5. Salt Lake City, Utah. Salt Lake City caught the massive tech and finance overflow from the West Coast. The stats? The mountain views are stunning, the economy is bulletproof, and home equity has surged, with median prices sitting around $550,000. But here's what nobody tells you, this is the undisputed capital of the starter home nightmare. Young couples bought cute 1,500 square foot homes in 2020 at a 3% rate. Fast forward to 2026, that couple now has 3 kids, a massive dog, and 0 personal space. They desperately need a 4-bedroom house, but upgrading from their $1,800 monthly payment to a current $4,500 monthly payment is mathematically impossible. So they're permanently trapped in a house they've completely outgrown, playing a daily game of human Tetris. Picture this. You wake up and look out your window at the majestic snow-capped Wasatch Mountains. The sunrise is beautiful, and the neighborhood is perfectly quiet. Suddenly, you step out of your bedroom and instantly violently roll your ankle on a rogue Lego because your living room, dining room, and home office have all been completely consumed by an avalanche of toddler toys, and there is literally nowhere else to put them. 4. San Diego, California. San Diego is quite literally paradise. It has the best weather in the country, amazing beaches, and incredible food. The stats? If you bought here before the rate hikes, you are sitting on massive equity, as median home prices have marched dangerously close to the $1 million mark. But here's what nobody tells you. You are officially house rich and cash poor, and you are trapped in a sunshine-taxed cage. Inflation has driven the cost of groceries, gas, and utilities in Southern California to absolute nightmare levels. You have $400,000 in home equity, but you secretly check your bank account before buying a burrito. You want to sell your house, take the cash, and move to the Midwest where life is cheap, but because you need a loan for the new house at today's rates, your cost of living wouldn't actually drop. You are a millionaire on paper who still has to budget for avocados. Picture this. You're surfing at dawn. The Pacific Ocean is cool, the waves are perfect, and the golden hour sunlight is hitting the cliffs. It is the California dream. Then you paddle back to shore, open your banking app, and realize you have exactly $14 to your name until Friday, despite officially owning $1 million piece of real estate. 3. Miami, Florida. Miami saw the wildest boom of the entire pandemic, fueled by crypto bros and New Yorkers desperate for no state income tax. The stats? The skyline is packed with luxury condos, and early buyers saw their property values practically double overnight. But here's what nobody tells you. Miami is the ultimate sinking ship, both literally and financially. Condos across South Florida are being hit with terrifying special assessments for structural repairs. We're talking $50,000 to $100,000 surprise bills handed directly to homeowners. These people desperately want to sell and escape, but nobody wants to buy a condo with a 7.5% mortgage plus an HOA fee that costs more than a luxury car payment. The sellers can't sell, the buyers won't buy, and the water level just keeps rising. Picture this. You're looking out from the balcony of your high-rise condo. The neon lights of South Beach are reflecting beautifully off the ocean. The club music thumps in the distance. Then you look straight down to the street to see your parked Tesla slowly floating away in a pool of salt water from a king tide right as your HOA board emails you another demand for a $30,000 roof repair. 2. Denver, Colorado. Denver is the mile-high city where everyone moved to be closer to nature, craft breweries, and legal dispensaries. The stats? The economy is strong, and if you locked in a 3% rate on a $600,000 home, you technically have a highly desirable asset. But here's what nobody tells you. You moved here to be an outdoorsy pioneer, but now you just stay inside because everything outside of your house is aggressively expensive. The golden handcuffs are particularly tight in Denver. People who are completely burnt out on the high cost of living want to retreat back to Ohio or Indiana, but when they run the math, giving up their historically low mortgage rate completely wipes out the financial benefit of moving to a cheaper state. The only affordable thing left in their lives is the mortgage they secured 5 years ago. Picture this. You're loading up your $80,000 tricked-out Subaru with premium ski gear. The Rocky Mountains are calling. But then you remember a single-day lift ticket is now pushing $300. Gas is astronomical, and your low mortgage rate is the only thing standing between you and absolute bankruptcy. You silently put the skis back in the garage and just aggressively scroll Zillow in tears. And finally, ground zero for the golden handcuffs crisis, Los Angeles. The stats, median home prices are astronomical, and anyone who bought real estate here at 2.6% is holding on to a golden ticket that can never, ever be replaced. But here's what nobody tells you. Los Angeles is currently hosting the most extreme divorce standoffs in human history. Let's say a couple bought a house in Los Angeles in 2020. In 2026, they completely hate each other. But if they sell their Los Angeles house and split the equity, neither of them will have enough cash to buy even a miserable one-bedroom condo at the current 7.5% interest rate. So they just don't sell. They stay in the house. The 3% mortgage has literally become a financial superglue holding together thousands of toxic, broken relationships across Southern California. Picture this. The gorgeous Southern California sunset pours through the massive windows of your stunning open-concept kitchen. The palm trees sway in the breeze. It looks like a magazine cover. Then you make terrifying, soul-piercing eye contact with your ex-husband who is quietly making a protein shake across the room. You despise him, he despises you, but you both love that 2.6% interest rate way too much to ever pack your bags.